You're listening to Plants and Politics with Gina Bonanno Lemos. If you're ready to hear the truth about both sides of the aisle, what's really going on in America, and how big money interests prevent change to keep you sick, broke, and desperate, then play on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plants and Politics. This is Gina. So I have a couple of updates on Ghislaine Maxwell. Of course, Ghislaine Maxwell, for those of you who don't know, you can go back and listen to a couple of the podcasts I've recorded, but just to give you a quick recap, she was the longtime girlfriend of the notorious child trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein, alleged child trafficker, who was arrested last year, found dead in his cell. They ran in very, let's say, wealthy and well-known circles, people with a lot to lose if their nefarious activities were exposed. So last week, I believe it was, Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Her arrest was the timing of her arrest was very suspicious. It was shortly after Jeffrey Berman was pushed out of the Southern District of New York. I contend, and you can go back and listen to one of my other podcasts, I contend that he was pushed out because of her case and because he was getting close. So she's being held in New York currently. She's being charged with 6 counts, including perjury and enticing a minor to travel to engage in illegal sex acts. She has been accused of helping to recruit, groom, and abuse multiple young girls. All of these girls were underage. One has personally accused her of sexually assaulting her at the age of 14 between the years 1994 and 1997. That's included in the indictment. So the new news is from Bloomberg, and apparently Ghislaine Maxwell is she's under investigation by the U.S. Virgin Islands for her participation in the sex trafficking. So in a court filing, they stated that they are, quote, investigating Maxwell's participation in Epstein's criminal sex trafficking and sexual abuse conduct. Apparently, they have been trying to subpoena her since March, and she has been evading the subpoena. So what they're hoping to do is use the case against her that they filed against her to enforce the subpoena. So the court filing further states, quote, the government's need to intervene is further fueled by Maxwell's inappropriate use of the Virgin Islands courts to seek payment and reimbursement from the Epstein criminal enterprise, while she circumvents the service of process of government subpoenas related to her involvement in that criminal enterprise. What this is about is, for anybody who doesn't know, Epstein was a resident of the Virgin Islands. So he actually owned 2 islands. I knew of one. I didn't know of the second one. So the 2 islands were Little St. James and Great St. James. And so the government is actually trying to claim these islands as part of this lawsuit against her and Epstein. Now, the Caribbean territory, it said, gave notice of the investigation last Friday, and the lawsuit that they're referring to that she has filed is a lawsuit that Ghislaine Maxwell has brought against Jeffrey Epstein's estate. So she's actually filed a lawsuit against Jeffrey Epstein's estate to try to get legal fees paid. And she said that she's incurring legal fees and wants the estate to cover them because Epstein repeatedly promised her that he would support her financially. So I find this really ironic because part of her defense, which her attorney kind of laid out in court documents, because she's being held currently in a Manhattan jail and she's due in court tomorrow. So Tuesday, July 14th, she's set to appear in court. Apparently, she has waived the right to appear in court. She's just going to send her attorney, so she will not personally be there. But she's going to court tomorrow to see if she can get out on bail. Her attorney is trying to argue that she is not a flight risk, which is beyond absurd, and that she should be allowed out on $5 million bail and referred to home arrest. So they're trying to get her out on home arrest and to wear an ankle monitor, which again is just absurd given how many people want her dead, how many people have the means to make her disappear. So it shouldn't be allowed. But anyway, what I find funny about her allegation and assertion that Epstein promised that he would financially support her is that her attorney is making the argument in his court filing that she had nothing to do with Epstein. He's literally saying in her court filing, that Ghislaine Maxwell is not Jeffrey Epstein and that they hadn't even spoken in a decade, that they had nothing to do with each other. So she was not a part of his crimes. Well, which is it? This guy keeps contradicting himself. Either Epstein repeatedly promised that he would continue to support her financially, or they had nothing to do with each other. But you can't have it both ways. It's just so ridiculous and just obscene what these people got away with and did for decades. So another update comes from an inside source reported through the Scottish Sun news outlet, says that she, meaning Ghislaine Maxwell, is being moved from cell to cell and sometimes has a cellmate, sometimes not. They said that the authorities are terrified someone will try to kill her, so they keep moving her around. And of course, this is a very realistic threat because most people, like myself, do not believe that Jeffrey Epstein murdered himself. They don't believe he committed suicide. As I mentioned, their quote unquote clients, these sick, disgusting, vile, pervert pedophiles, were some of the most well-known, well-connected, wealthy people on the planet. So they allegedly include heads of state, politicians, celebrities, you name it, that took part in these hideous crimes. So those are the updates, guys, and we will see tomorrow what happens in court, but there is no way in hell that this woman should be remanded to home arrest and allowed to either take off and have someone help her disappear, or many people help her disappear, or, where she can easily be murdered. If they allow that, I will absolutely be convinced that the fix is in, because there is no one else who is a greater flight risk than this woman. All right, I will bring you an update later. But until then, as always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.